How great it is to be able to connect with you like this. If I was to ask you to tell me a few things about yourselves, what would you say to me? How would you define yourself? Would you define yourself by your career, how you look, your sporting achievements, by what other people have said about you, or the number of Facebook friends you have? All of these things would provide some information to me, but in and of themselves, they do not define you. If we base our identity on our pursuits or by what others think of us, or even by the number of Facebook friends we have then significantly sold ourselves short. What happens to our identity when we experience failure? Relationships that we have fall apart, or we become burnt out. Personal identity is one of the most important things to know about ourselves. It brings some clarity and understanding to why we respond the way we do. It is knowing who we really are that makes us tick, that makes us laugh. It tells us about what gets on our nerves and what brings us joy. Understanding our personal identity affects how we look at life, how we make decisions, how we deal with conflicts, and how we relate to and with each other. If we define ourselves by what others think, or even by our own feelings of self-worth, then we have really not discovered our true identity. This is how God defines us. He tells us that we're wonderfully made, that we're made in His likeness and in His image. He tells us we are His treasured possessions and that we are loved unconditionally. God knows you and I. He's familiar with our ways. He knows our thoughts and words even before we speak them out. He surrounds us. He guides us. He knows us inside out. Our true self, our value, our worth, our sense of purpose and fulfillment, we find that true identity in Him. If we live out of an identity based on how God sees us, we will no longer feel the need to find our worth in external circumstances. This is our permanent identity. It can never be removed, messed up, forsaken, taken away, or changed. Knowing this frees us up to live confidently instead of changing who we are based on the opinion of others or our professional successes or how we see ourselves and all the other ways that define our significance. It gives us the opportunity to experience God's unconditional love in new and fresh ways. Psalm 139 verses 1 and 2. Lord, you know everything there is to know about me. You perceive every movement of my heart and soul, and you understand every thought before it even enters my mind. You are so intimately aware of me, Lord. How would viewing yourself this way, as God really sees you, change the way you live right now?